All right, what's up, my Crusaders for Christ, you guys? We are here with Recovery Hope. I am with Miss Linda, and she's going to give us a little bit of a background on what's going on here and what we're doing here today. Hi, Miss Linda. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for offering to do this.
Absolutely.
We're out here at CMA Colonial Chevy today. They are one of our sponsors. We fight human trafficking, and we have two missions. One is to bring awareness to the community to try to prevent. The other is we have a house that we're trying to open in March that will provide 2-year free residence for 6 women.
Wow.
It's on 6 acres. It will provide all of the wraparound services. If they've got addiction, we'll do addiction support.
Okay.
We won't do detox there. We'll detox them and then have them come. We will be doing mental health. We will be doing having emotional counseling. We will be having them, if they need to get their GED, we'll help them get their GED. We're hoping to work with some of the local colleges if they want to extend their education.
That's amazing.
One of the things we want to do, rather than just restore and healing, we want them to be able to have a place to go, to find their purpose, because Christ has one for all of us, and to help them to find what that purpose is and get into that. I mean, there's lots of different things to do. We're working with different businesses, and so we want to help them do what Christ wants them to do. This is what Christ has called us to do here.
That's amazing. How long have you all been open, or how long
We've
have you
been
doing
here? We're heading into year 6.
Wow,
we started in March of 2020, or February of 2020, right before COVID came.
Wow.
So it's been an interesting ride for us, but it's given us an opportunity. It really expanded our horizons. We were looking at doing community. We ended up doing law enforcement, prosecutors.
Wow.
All of those people, we're all partners in this. We do a multidisciplinary team in Chesterfield, and it's divided into those that do the judicial side and those of us that are on the service side. And so that has just started. We're having our first service side meeting on Tuesday.
That's amazing.
So
how'd you all get into this? I mean, what led you? How did you? She said, I've been asked this before.
Well, it's interesting. I had physically become unable to do nursing. I was a cardiac nurse for 30 years. And so once that happened, my sister gave me a book by Christine Kane, who runs A21, and it was her original version of Undaunted. So I read that book. It took me about a year to find somebody to volunteer with here in the RVA area. And so I was doing the prevention side for a while, and then teetered off for a while. My health was not doing well. So then there was this dormant 501c3. They'd never done anything with it. They had articles of incorporation and bylaws.
So they had everything, yeah.
And so we're really basically considered the founders. They got those 2 legal papers done, but we couldn't get our status as nonprofit because the IRS basically shut down during COVID.
Oh, jeez.
But it's okay, because there were groups that believed that God was going to bring that accreditation along.
Amen.
And so there were groups that were giving to us, faith-based communities, individual donors that are still with us to this day.
Wow.
So we were fully reinstated in January of 2022. And so we're just moving along. And then in March of this year, we were told somebody had a house they wanted us to use.
Glory to God.
I know. It was a total God thing. It was a friend of mine at church. And so they're working on building something new with that, with their stuff. And then once they get moved into their new building, then we will be able to take over access to that. We need the community to get on board, financing an operation like this. This isn't just hire somebody off the street.
Right.
It's hiring peer support. It's hiring case managers.
Right.
And so, because we want to do a quality program.
Right.
So,
what can you tell me about trafficking, or trafficking specifically in this area? Just give me some facts maybe people don't know.
Okay. One of the biggest things we're having trouble with is getting statistics in the state of Virginia. Delegate Mike Cherry's been working with us on that some, and some other nonprofits.
Good for
and
him.
Even our county supporters, Commonwealth's attorneys, that sort of thing. And so it's really hard to tell. It's kind of like sexual assault or rape. it's underreported.
Right.
So we don't know, and then we don't have enough beds for them all, so we don't know. One of the things we're trying to collect now is how many beds are we needing that we're not being able to fulfill? How many places, how many of the homes that are open have waiting lists? How many police? I had a email from a Commonwealth attorney one day that she said, I have 3 survivors and I have nowhere to put them.
Wow.
And so
what happens to those women during this time?
One of them ended up in jail, which is a safe place once they figure out, this really isn't a bad thing after all.
Right.
One ended up with family that can or cannot be because there is familial trafficking.
Okay.
And then the other one ended up back on the street, so she was at the mercy of running into her trafficker again.
Wow.
So, the whole thing is to get them out of that life.
Correct.
But they have to be willing to want to do it too, even when they come in.
Is there like that? What is it, like that Stockholm syndrome? Do you run into that?
There is Stockholm syndrome. Human trafficking starts from vulnerability, and they use force, fraud, or coercion. And once their trafficker, in fact, I have a couple of families I'm working with right now that their daughters are still being trafficked or have been groomed.
Wow.
And they don't see it. A lot of times women that are trafficked do not know that they're being trafficked.
Wow.
And so, and they get this mindset, this Stockholm syndrome, that I'm not good enough to do anything else. I can't make it without him. And so, there's domestic violence involved. He may use drugs to keep them compliant. Or they may have gotten into this because they were trying to get a fix, and now here they are, they're stuck.
Do they typically recruit? I mean, have there been women that have become so comfortable that they'll then... Okay.
Absolutely. They have what they call the bottom. She's probably been with the trafficker the longest, and one of her jobs is to go out and recruit people. I've met several survivors that were recruited by a bottom.
Wow.
And the way that he keeps them, the trafficker keeps them in line, is to make an example of the bottom. If they don't do what they're supposed to, if they don't make the phone calls, if they sleep too long or whatever, he uses the bottom as an example.
And I imagine that's probably physical or violence or something.
Or violence, withholding food, withholding sleep. There's no end to the trauma that they can and are exposed to.
And clearly there's something wrong with the traffickers. I mean, there's got to be a history there of mental illness of some sort. I mean, my goodness,
right.
You don't...
Or they've had trauma in their own life. It may not be a mental health diagnosis. It can be, and a lot of these women end up... I've met women that they were diagnosed through being trafficked. They didn't know that they had a mental illness, and it came out, it exacerbated.
Right.
Because they were trafficked. And so...
broke something in them.
It broke something. Yeah. It finally came to the forefront. So now you've not only got the trafficking and the healing, and all, now you've got a mental health issue that you've got to deal with. You may already have the addiction problem. Right. You may have... Domestic violence is often a thing with them, but that's not the priority thing that we deal with. I've seen people try to do both together. Somebody that's been just domestically violated, and it's not the optimal.
Right. How can someone help? Somebody seeing this video, what can they do? What do you guys need? Is there a website? Is there...
Absolutely. www.recoverhope.org. Yep. You can scan that QR code right there. And we have tabs. You can sign up on our website to get the newsletter or to volunteer. And then we have all of our volunteer training on video now. We received a grant. And so once you sign up, we do an application, we do a confidentiality, and we do a Virginia State Police sex registry background check.
As you should, absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so because traffickers can really fool you, they may look like normal people, but they're wicked and evil at the core. And again, they could have been through trauma and drama as they were younger. And that's what kind of led them to do this. It's the environment that they're brought up in and raised in. And so they don't know any different.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Miss Linda. God bless you. God bless the mission.
Thank you.
You guys, if you want to help, this is where you go right here. Check this out. They need volunteers, donations, anything that you guys can do to help. They'd appreciate. Thank you.